So back in 2023, Vice magazine comes to the American public with a very deep and rich philosophical question. They're trying to stimulate the minds of their youthful readers with questions such as, is it possible to be straight and want to have sex with a gay guy? And we see to have like what appears to be an interracial gay couple as the thumbnail. Now, as you can notice, they have pivoted a little bit in 2023 from scientific inquiry into a more progressive inquiry. What I mean by this is that back in 2016 or so, Vice magazine would often post scientific questions, such as, in a vacuum, what falls faster on the ground, a feather or a 1 kilogram steel ball? And questions like this would stimulate the mind of the young readers to try and learn a little bit about science. I mean, maybe, they would read the article and they would notice, physics is actually interesting. They would learn something. They would then maybe be stimulated in order to try and read more about physics. But again, like in 2023, the American society becomes more progressive and they're not concerned with reactionary shit like physics, which is going to be taken more seriously by backwards nations such as China. And instead, the American media is going to focus on the things that actually matter, which is boot sex. Now, I don't know if this article was published before or after boot sex happened in the Senate, because I understand the Democrats were the adults back in charge and they were doing adult things, including in the U.S. Senate. And so maybe this is what inspired this article. But again, I don't know the timeline. However, we get to notice another interesting thumbnail. Yet again, two people that seem to be interracial playing video games next to a title that suggests homosexual activities. To answer the question, if you can be straight and also have gay sex, the answer is yes, but only if the balls don't touch. If it's just the tip, then yes. In any other circumstance, the answer is no. So let's read the article. I can't stop thinking about having sex with a close friend of mine. See, this always makes me wonder, how do they select these people? Because America has a population of 350 million, give or take, and you probably have a couple of tens of millions of immigrants that may be there undocumented. They forgot their documents in the Democrats' homes. But how do they decide which one out of these hundreds of millions of people to pick so that they too can appear in Vice magazine with their very interesting and enriching life stories? But anyway, right, so this gentleman can't stop thinking about having sex with a close friend. And it's weird because he never in his 23 years, he never, not once, no, never been attracted to men. Of course, I notice when a guy is good looking. I've always owned up to that. How does the noticing take place? Like, does he just walk on the street and it's like, hey, you're good looking? I'm not gay though. But I've only ever been sexually interested in women. It's not very progressive of him. Now though, I'm having dirty thoughts about my friend. When I see him, when I look him up on social media, when I masturbate. Oh. It rots your brain. Did you not know? Did the tradcons not lecture you? Did they not give you the talk about masturbation? You should. Look what it does. It gives you gay thought. You should never masturbate, ever. You should convert to Islam. Follow Sharia. Do not touch yours. It's evil. Sinful. Horrible. Drink alcohol instead. Ever since he broke up with his girlfriend 6 months ago, he's bisexual and started hooking up with men too, so I keep thinking, why not me? I even try watching gay porn. See, rotting off the brain, like the brain is a carcass. The tradcons on Twitter have informed me of this. Like, they started communing with the science and the divine and told me that watching stuff online rots, right? Like a carcass. You get worms, maggots in the brain. what the worst thing a human being can achieve. Like, it's just a societal cancer, right? At the same time, I feel almost too good when I'm around him. Bromance moments disarm me. He knows this too, and he plays into it quite a bit. A week ago, he said he was drunk and kissed me. He told me maybe it'd be better if we went home together instead. Okay. Do I take this seriously, or do I make fun? I will take it serious. You know what? I will actually answer this deep philosophical thing on a level that goes beyond Twitter. Like, you will be amazed on the knowledge that I shared. What you are experiencing, my brother in Christ, is called temptation. Being tempted and committing the act is the difference between virtue and sin. Like, as human beings, all of us experience different types of temptation, right? Like, some people may never experience the types of temptations that you do, while others may experience different. Here's an example. There is a temptation called the call of the void. This happens every single time a person is on a very tall building and they're looking down and they feel like jumping. Like, that's called the call of the void. Not every person experiences it, but it's something that some people do. Like seriously, imagine you're on a skyscraper and you're looking down and there's a fence, and for a brief moment in your head, like, you feel like jumping. It makes no rational sense. There's no reason why you'd want to do it, but like, many people like realize they have this and they step back. So like, the temptation, which is called the call of the void, exists. That doesn't mean that the person is suicidal. It just means that he had a temptation. Christians would say that the demon possessed him, right? The demon is whispering temptations into the ear. Now, it really depends on which school of thought you are. Like, if you're in the European or the American school of thought. See, like, the American school of thought believe that if the temptation even manifests itself, like, if even at the subconscious level, if you're tempted, you have done the sin. Like, if you're having racist thoughts, even subconsciously, you're a racist, right? This is the American way of thought. And so, like, if you're having, like, any type of gay attraction, even at the subconscious level, you're a homosexual. You may as well vote Democrat. J.D. Vance wants nothing to do with you. If you're in Europe, that is different. It doesn't matter what you think. It matters how you act, right? So, like, you're having these temptations. And if you don't act on them, you're not gay. The moment you touch another man's penis, that's when you're gay. I suppose it also depends, like, how intense the temptations are, right? And if they go away after a while or they linger. If you're trying to feed into the temptations or not. It's a bigger conversation. But suffice to say, though, like, if you are having these issues and you're already wondering and you're like, well, I like women, gay porn doesn't attract me, I don't want to do anything with the guy, I would say that you're not going to get the LGBT card. You're going to get the card of allyship, though. Like, you can be an ally, but you can't actually be LGBTQ, right? Now, there is an interesting conversation about this. Can you actually have gay sex and still be straight? I would say no, but there is a gray line, though. Gray line. The reason I even thought about it is because Amy Coney Barrett, when nominated to the Supreme Court, she said sexual preference. And a lot of Democrats freaked out. It's like, no, it's not preference, it's an orientation, right? Like, you orient yourself like a Muslim towards Mecca. You don't have a preference. And this is what I disagree. I think it can be preference. I know I'm contradicting the experts that constantly commune with the science and homosexuality, but like, we gotta break some barriers here, right? Like, we gotta advance our understanding. What if you're a person that ends up in prison or on an island with Vosh and coconuts and there is no woman to be found. And you're going to be there for like 20, 25 years. And so you don't resist the temptation. But the moment you're out, the moment you escape the Vosh Coconut Island, or you get out of prison, you're exclusively doing sex with women. Like, are you a bisexual? I mean, you'd never want to see another man again. You're not interested, right? Like, you see that I think that's a preference. I think that's actually, like, that person prefers women, right? Like, he prefers vanilla ice cream, but if there's no vanilla ice cream to be found and the only thing that's available is chocolate, then he's not going to starve, right? Anyway, fascinating article, absolutely beautiful. I mean, the American mainstream media is one of the most thought-provoking medias in the world. I wonder, like, what is the Americans' educational level? I think it's astonishing. Like, they focus on the things that matter. They help young people ask the serious questions in life. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.